Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alisa Vitonia of AT Realty, where we help you make safe, secured and profitable real estate investments. If you watched our last video on buying off plan, you already know by now that it can be one of the fastest ways to secure your property and grow wealth, only when it's done right. Today we're diving deeper. I'm standing right here at Perez Courts B, an apartment development already in progress. And guess what? I'm joined by the developer himself, the man behind the vision. And he's here to unpack with us what buying off plan really is, how to protect your investments, and what makes this project worth considering. Yes, so Mr. Adiola Sanusi, thank you so much for making our time from your busy schedule to join us on site.
Yeah.
So let's start simple, right? What does it actually mean to buy property off plan?
Yeah, so what it means to buy a property off plan is you buy before the property is being delivered, right? So which means you buy during the construction phase, just as we have here. And one of the major peculiar things to buying a property at off plan is the fact that you get to buy at a very low price. That's below the market price.
Sure.
And you can decide to resell at a higher price upon delivery. So you buy based on the design, the layout, and the reputation of the developer.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, some people will still ask here, they would be like, why should I buy a property that I cannot see? What's the advantage really of buying an off-plan project?
So yeah, a couple of them actually. So number one is, as I said earlier, you're buying at a lower price. So for example, at Perez Courts here, we have an introductory price for our studio at about 50 million. So we expect that by the time we'll complete the project, it should be selling for nothing less than 60-65. So that means you're buying equity in the project.
Right.
Then secondly, there's also flexibility of payment. So most of the time, real estate transactions in Nigeria, they're usually done on outright, right? So that means people pay outrightly. But when it comes to off-plan, you can actually buy, pay initial deposit and, spread your payment for about 3 to 6 months, depending on what works for you. Then lastly, you can also there's also customization. You can decide that you want to.
That's very true.
Yeah, you want to switch things around in terms of the design, because we are in the phase where you can walk around the way the design looks like for you, depending on what exactly you want. So that's definitely one of the major things to look out for when you're buying an off-plan property.
Okay. Okay, so are these the only reasons one should actually look into buying off-plan properties?
No, of course not. So another major reason is the fact that it gives you first mover advantage. So when you buy a property at off-plan, you are able to key in at an introductory price or the price below the market value, which helps you hedge against inflation. So at the end of the day, upon completion, you can decide to sell for capital gain. That means you flip the property, you understand?
Yeah.
So that's the investment point of view. Another investment point of view is the fact that you can even decide to give it up for rental, you understand? So that means you're getting cash flow. So imagine you getting cash flow for like 5 to 6 years or 10 years, they now decide to sell at the terminal value at the end of the day. So there's a lot of case value in that particular place.
The truth is, whoever buys right now buys at the lowest price. So it gives you a very should I call it an advantageous?
Yeah, it gives you a good edge against inflation. You understand? So we know the inflation figure is already double digits. So you want an investment that will give you, something that that beats that. Yeah.
So let's be honest, right? While all of this sounds solid, there are some risks involved in buying off-plan property.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
people have burnt their fingers, So what are the risks and how can investors actually protect themselves?
That's actually a very good question. So the thing is, there are a couple of things that an investor needs to consider before buying an off-plan. So number one is definitely the reputation of the developer. So you need to be able to see if they have track record of delivery. Number two is you need to also check the land title. Conduct due diligence, ensure that the property is registered, the title is good. Then next thing will be the building approvals. So you need to be sure that there's no contravention, and also the property they've registered the development permit and everything is being done. Then lastly, one other very important thing is inspection. You know, a lot of people don't conduct inspection. You should not buy a property blindly. You should definitely check it out, visit the site, see what exactly is going on, and ensure that there's progress on site, you understand, just as we have right here.
So let's bring this home right now, yeah? Let's talk about Perez Courts. Why is this project different?
Yeah, so a number of things differentiate this product. So at Excel Homes, one of the major things we did was to identify the gap in the market. So we realized that we have a gap when it comes to getting a lot of luxury properties on the mainland as opposed to the island. So for example, if you say you're looking for 200 short-let apartments on the island, you can easily find, right?
True.
But there isn't a lot of that on the mainland, you know, in terms of properties that meet that standard, you understand. So there's a lot of facilities that yeah, exactly, that is just exquisitely done. So that's actually what we're working on there. We're doing like Lekki Ikoyi standard right here in Surulere. So if a client buys into this property and is using it for short-let, you'll be surprised that they'll be getting very steady you know, occupancy as compared to the island, because competition is actually very low on the mainland. So the supply demand dynamics actually really favors us right here, because there isn't a lot of supply of these luxury properties.
Luxury short-let.
Yeah, luxury short-let.
You've been hammering on short-let. Does it really mean that it's just short-let that this project would be for?
Oh, no. So it's a mixed development. So if a client decides that they want to live here, it's good. If they decide that they want to put it up for short-let, which we can actually manage for them, and give them like a guaranteed return every single month.
Beautiful.
Then there are some clients that put up their property for short-let, but anytime they are in the country, they want to stay. So that's actually one of the other advantage for them. So yeah, so we can accommodate any.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. So looking around, I mean, one can clearly see that construction is well underway, right?
Yeah.
So what stage are we on, and what's the delivery timeline?
Oh yeah, that's actually a very good question. So we're currently working on the foundation here. As you can see, we are backfilling currently.
Yeah.
And immediately after that, we have our iron mat done and casting done. So we have our German floor within like 2 weeks. In under 3 to 4 months, we have the framework done already, which is the carcass. Then in another 3 or 4 months as well, we're done with the finishing of the project. So give or take 9 months, we're done with this project, and you can expect Perez Courts 2. But the idea is that this project is actually a legacy project. So we are putting every single thing, every single work is being done to detail, you understand? So it's definitely going to be a very good delivery, very unique delivery right here.
So you're promising attention to detail.
Exactly.
So, you know, we can't talk about real estate investment, start talking about numbers. Yeah. So let's talk numbers, right? So what is the current off-plan price, and what's the entry requirement? Oh
yeah, so for the price right now, the introductory price for the, you know, we have studio, we have 1 bed, and we have 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
5 units of studio are on the ground floor.
Okay.
3 units of 1 bed are on the first floor, while 2 units of 2 bed are on the second floor. So we are just going 2 floors, ground floor plus 2. So currently, a studio is selling for 50.5 M, and upon completion, you can expect it to sell for as high as 65 million. So which means, yeah, so that means with less than a year, clients can get nothing less than 30% returns on investment from that.
Beautiful.
While the 1 bedroom is currently selling for 82 million, should be selling for nothing less than 95 upon completion, while the 2 bedroom is selling currently for 125 million. Should be selling for nothing less than 150 upon completion, because of the level of finishing, you understand? Yeah, so what we're working on is actually really good. Okay,
so what's the entry requirement?
Yeah, so minimum initial deposit is about 30 to 40%, and they can spread payment for 3 to 6 months.
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. So 30% initial deposits.
Yeah.
Then spread for as long as 6 months. Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. So for people watching this video and they're still sitting on the fence, yet to make
Don't sit on the fence.
What's your final words for them?
Yeah, I think I said something earlier on about first move advantage, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you will be able to benefit from the first project that stands as the future of mainland luxury, you understand? So it is definitely something good if you can, you know, key in, now when the prices are even very low, you understand? Because at the end of the day, when we deliver Perez Courts 1, people are going to know that for sure they actually paid less for more. You understand? So this is more like a legacy project. We're definitely trying to make a statement with this project, you understand? So the idea is the best time to key in is now before the prices really go up.
Wow, all right. Thank you so much again, Mr. Adiola, for doing this with us. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you've heard from the source. Off-plan isn't a risk when you're armed with knowledge, guided by the right professionals, and working with an open and transparent developer. So if you're ready to take the next action or secure a site store, check the details below. Secure a unit of Perez Court B and invest with confidence.